Hello, Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. Today I've got a replay in two of the black tanks, the French medium tank, the AMX CDC, and the second one in the tier 8 German heavy tank, the LoweII. Now both these tanks can be won in the black op, which is going on at the moment. You can also win the T-77 or the SU Russian tank destroyer. You have to pick one of the tanks. You can only have one. And I've got a replay today to show you two of the tanks which you could earn. The first of which is in the tier 8 French medium tank, the CDC Black. Now this tank, I'll be honest, it's always been a favourite of mine. But it isn't the best medium, if I'm completely honest with you. You know, it's kind of power crept. When it first came out, it was really good. But now there's a lot of mediums which are probably better. Having said that, I've always had a soft spot for it, and I do quite enjoy playing it. It's very, very quick medium. Gets to 57 kilometers an hour. It's got 10 degrees of gun depression. 240 alpha on its rounds with a pretty decent reload and good DPM. But it does have absolutely no armour. You're not going to bounce shots in this tank. You kind of walk in hit points. But you've got reasonable camo. I've got it down to about 313 with the current setup. I don't run concealment on this tank. You probably could if you wanted to. But yeah, I like the tank. Now the first map here, we are on Sand River Encounter. Now, I didn't want to go into sort of the middle of the map because I know there's a fun place in the game. And I was trying to find a way to try and get flank shots on these guys, but it's a little bit risky because if I get spotted here, I am in an awkward position and I could take a lot of punish fire. Or if there is a tank which has gone on the left hand side and the outside, then again I could be in an awkward position if I do get detected. But like I say, I didn't want to get it straight into the brawl because this is kind of a tank where you want to be trying to use your mobility to get those flank shots, etc., in where you can. And yeah, but so far I haven't really achieved a lot, but I haven't, you know, it's still early doors. I haven't got detected, and you know, I haven't lost any of my hit points. But now I do get spotted, and I see an enemy light tank on the other side of the map, and I've seen that my friendly light tank is over there, and I've made the decision that I don't think that light tank has any protection or any support whatsoever by just looking at the mini-map now to see where all the tanks are. He's isolated, and I'm just going to go in and try and take out a tier 9 tank. It is a tier 9 lobby, and if I get rid of this tank, that's going to give me freedom to play the outside of the map. So I'm coming in here, my friendly tank in there. I'm going to try and give him the ram to take his trap off. I do put him on a one shot, and our friendly light tank there manages to take him out in the bulldog. And that has at least given us an opportunity now, like a window into the game, because now I can come round this out-hand side. I know this is clear. I know there's nothing there just by, you know, the fact that I took no punishment from any other tanks when I went in for that light tank. And if you look on the mini-map, you can see where all the tanks are. So I'm trying to get behind them, basically, so I can try and get shots in. Looking for a shot on this enemy Earthshaker there in the middle, sorry. And unfortunately, I missed that shot. But looking to try now, see if we can get any more shots there in that medium. I'm going to try and push forward to try and get, you know, where these tanks are in the middle, or the sort of bowl. I might be able to try and get shots into those guys, but I also can get shots into these tanks in the base. Enemy SU, this is one of the tanks you can also earn as well, which I'm shooting at now. Trying to get shots into this tank and try and finish off. Very, very decent tank that, because you can, you know, it can pick up a lot of damage in that tank. I'm trying to pull forward now to see if we can get any more shots into the stuff in the middle. But it's a fairly close game. It's 12 versus 12 at the moment. But now I can try and get these flank shots on this enemy medium tanks, and I'm going to try and use the sort of your position, use your DPM, get a nice shot on the Earthshaker. I've got to be careful because I don't know if stuff's covering, but this enemy STA2 Black is coming in for us, and I'm just going to, I've won this fight because I'm going to win the DPM race because I was up on hit points. But there's nothing I can do. I'm not going to block any damage here, so I'm just going to have to eat this damage and get put onto a one-shot. But at least we've taken out the tank. So it does put us on the one-shot, but it puts us on about 2,700 damage and 1 kill. Like I said, I had the hit point advantage because the STA2 did get shot coming into that position. But we've evened up this score. You know, it's still pretty close with one tank down. But I do have a bit of the map control now, and I'm going to look to see if I can help out my friendly tanks in the sort of riverbed by trying to get shots into the back of these tanks. Got to be careful, because I know there was that enemy SU which I didn't manage to finish off, so he could potentially be looking for shots into me right now. I am getting detected by something, and I am on a one shot, so I suspect it was that enemy SU from earlier, and I need to try and get out of dodge to that position. But I can hug the rock on the left and now still shoot the tanks in the riverbed without having to expose myself to that enemy SU anymore. Pick up the kill on one of the guys in the riverbed. I think there's still one tank in there, which is also a 2-shot to us. We get 1 shot in, so he's a 3-shot to us. We get a 2nd shot in, putting him onto a 1-shot. Now we're going to try and get the finishing shot if we can, but it gets finished off by our friendly SG-130 before we get an opportunity there. But we do manage to get some nice damage into him, picking up 2 kills and 3,400 damage. And there's only 4 enemy tanks remaining, so we just want to lose this spot here. We kept getting detected every time we pushed. It was from this enemy SU, but he's kind of in the middle of the map now, and he managed to get taken out by our friendly light tank. And now with only 3 tanks remaining, I'm just trying to get over there to try and get as much damage out of this game as possible. On to just shy of 4,000 damage now with 400 assistance with 2 kills. And there is 3 enemy tanks remaining. Now we spot this enemy Iron Rain. Now the Iron Rain we can kill with HE quite happily. So we're going to swap to the HE, which is going to boost our damage because we know we can pen him. We've got 45 penetration on the HE rounds. That's enough to get through the Iron Rain. And you can see there I am boosting my damage going into this tank. Hopefully you should try and get the finish. Puts us on about 4,500 damage with 2 tanks remaining, sorry. Now there's 1 tank remaining, just the enemy front police. We pretty much know where he's going to be. He's going to be in this corner. I was actually expecting him to be more hidden in the corner. I'm kind of thinking I might get shotgunned here, but thankfully he missed his shot. And now it's just about trying to get as many more shots in as possible. And that brings us an end to the first replay, with 1 more replay to come in the Lowe. So let's just see how we finished off this replay. We get 3 kills, just shy of 5,000 damage, just shy of 2,000 base XP and 600 assistance. It is only the first class, but we get the high caliber as well. And let's move on to the final replay. Okay, so here we are for the final replay then in the Tier 8 German Premium Heavy Tank, the Lowe Black Edition. And this tank, I've always quite liked the Lowe, if I'm honest. It was one of my first heavy premium tanks, not was it the Black Edition, the Standard Edition. You've got 320 alpha gun, you've got 230 penetration on your standard rounds and 294 on your premium APCR rounds. It has pretty decent armour when you are fighting like top tier tanks, like the turret can pretty good, and usually it's pretty decent at side scraping. And you also have 10 degrees of gun depression, so you're actually pretty good when you're trying to use a ridge line and just poke over and just trying to keep hold down and just maximise the armour of the tank. Obviously when you're fighting tier 10 tanks etc, then they can punch through your turret, but when you're fighting against tier 8s, and like this lobby is a top tier, the armour can be very effective. It isn't the quickest a tank, so you've only got a 35 kilometers an hour top speed, and it can be quite difficult getting into positions at times. You do feel that little bit sluggish. But this map here is the encounter battle, and it's quite decent. The fact that tanks I've managed to get into the fight pretty quickly. Now that's a terrible shot there for me and that enemy in the Panther there. Should have aimed that better. Thankfully I got another opportunity to get a 2nd shot in. I went for the sort of the track area just in case I could pen in, but I didn't really have a proper shot at the track wheel. But here you can see where I am bouncing shots off my turret armour. I'm hold down here and I'm in a good position actually to get shots in. Going to try and get a shot into that Tiger crossing. We managed to do that, picking up our 2nd penetration of the game and picking up some assistance. And this is sort of the ideal fight for the Lowe, really, being in these sort of brawl sort of situations like this. And actually the gun itself is actually fairly accurate. For a heavy tank, it's a pretty decent accurate gun. And I'm looking to try and get some shots in. And I'll get a nice shot in there and finish off that enemy in the Panzer crossing to try and leave that position. Putting this into a 12 versus 13. Enemy team are applying cap pressure, but I'm not concerned about the team capping out. The cap's right in the centre of the map, and I'm in a very good position to try and get resets if need be. I want to try and get some shots in this corner, but I don't want to overextend myself too much. You see, I'm very cautious looking on the left, just in case one of these mediums starts to get side shots into me when I do that. I thought about pushing forward there, but then I turned, I changed my mind as this enemy Black Prince gets spotted on the right hand side. As well as the fact there is enemy artillery in this game, which I've got to be careful of. Getting some nice shots in this Black Prince there. Managed to get 2 shots in, putting ourselves into 2,000 damage. We are getting detected by something, and you know, I've just been careful not to get shot by the left. But we know this enemy Black Prince is there. We're going to go for the blind fire, and we do manage to get the blind fire kill. Like I say, it's always worth getting those blind fire shots in. If you can't hit if you don't fire your gun. Enemy AMX medium tank comes around and puts a shot into us, and we're just pulling back. We don't want him to have any easy shots into us right now. I want to try and bring them in if possible. Enemy Vanguard coming in. I've noticed he's fired 2 shots. Now he's fired all his shots. So what I'm not going to do is turn for this Vanguard, because that's going to expose my whole tank to and then the enemy team's going to move round. I know the Vanguard's reloading. He's no longer a threat to us. So I'm just going to focus on the tanks, which obviously have a gun in the game at the moment. We get some nice shots into AMX, punish him as he comes round. We get another one in, which puts him into a 2-shot. And we have bounced a few shots there, but the engine has been destroyed in the Lowe. And that's something I should mention. Like most German tanks, like the Tiger 2, etc., your engine is right in the front of the tank. So it can, if you pen the lower plate, which is naturally where you're going to shoot in this tank, you've got a good chance of damaging the engine. And then that means you can set this tank on fire. Like if I get shot through the lower plate again and it damages my engine, then I could easily get set on fire. Unfortunately, I can't repair my engine at the moment because I've still got 19 seconds left on the clock. But we're having a decent game here. We're picking up about 4,000 damage. Still a very close game. But it's kind of been in a perfect scenario for me. I haven't had to move that far. I've been in a position where I've actually managed to be hulled down, so I can utilise my armour. And yeah, I've managed to so far pick up about 4,000 damage, and there's still 9 kills tanks left in this game. Looking to try and get a punishing shot on that enemy light tank. I do get that. I see the enemy Vanguard's coming in. Again, I'm trying to get one more shot in this Vanguard before he leaves, but he just gets around in the corner. I do know he's on a reload now, and obviously the Vanguard is a pest, aren't they really? Let's be honest, they just fall send around the map doing what they want with no one hitting them. We get 3 kills there though, picking up a kill on that poor tier 6. Here comes the Vanguard. We want to try and hit this shot, and we do, and we are all high enough to take him out, and we've got rid of the pest, got the pest control in there, putting us on to 4 kills, 4,600 damage. Still a 6 versus 6 scenario. Enemy Fun Police does keep detecting me, so I'm just trying to wait. I want to lose my spot, let my team start to push up. I don't want to get shot by the enemy artillery. Now I've got shots on the right onto this medium. I'm going to take those. Manage to get 1 shot in there. Looking to see if we can get a second one in. If he keeps going, hopefully we can. We do. We don't quite roll high enough to finish him off though. But we do put him onto a 1 shot. Looking to try and help out our friendly tank here. See if we can finish this tank off. Unfortunately, that shot doesn't go true. I don't know if it hit some cover, but wasn't able to finish him off. But he gets shut down by our friendly Freedom anyway. Putting this back into a 6 versus 5. And we're just trying to push forward now and try and get some damage. We've still got 1,000 hit points left. So we can afford to eat some damage shots at this point. There's an enemy Dreadnought. I'm thinking worst case the Dreadnought puts a shot into us here, but he can't roll high enough to kill us. And then we should be able to finish him off before he finishes reload. So he does get a shot into us there. He doesn't actually pen. He's also using the HE. But unfortunately I derped that shot, and I think that might cost me the kill, unfortunately. But I'm hoping maybe I can just get that kill shot in time. And we do manage to squeeze it in, putting us into just shy of 6,000 damage with 5 kills. We've had a really decent game here. Blocked a little bit of damage, got a little bit of assistance as well, but there's only 1 tank remaining. It's the enemy artillery. Now we're pretty slow, so at this point I'm not really expecting to get there unless the artillery shows itself on the top of the cliff so we can get a shot. But we're going to try and head over there anyway, because obviously it would be nice to finish this game with a Top Gun medal by getting the 6 kills, and it would be nice to try and get 1 more shot in just to round it up to an overall 6,000 of damage. But I was thinking right now I'm probably not going to make it, so I was thinking, oh no, I'll just wait and see if he exposes himself. But then our friendly light tank gets destroyed, and it's kind of a race between me and this Freedom. Now the Freedom's not particularly quick either, and I'm hoping that maybe I can get there, because this artillery's got about 400 or 500 hit points left. The Freedom can't finish me in one kill, so I'm thinking maybe I can get there and just get that one shot in to bring us into that 6th kill medal and get that top gun. But unfortunately gets shut down by our friendly equaliser, and that brings us an end to the replay and the video. So we managed to finish that off with 5 kills, just shy of 6,000 damage, 800 assistance and 1,500 block damage. Get the ace tanker and the high caliber. So that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and happy tanking.
Hadouken!